Aside from Bitcoin, Ethereum also doing very well and getting back above the 2,700 mark. Investors are now expecting the SEC to approve spot Ether ETFs this coming May. Well, let's talk more about the crypto market. We have Paul Brody, global blockchain leader at EY. Paul, thank you so much for joining us once again on CNBC. How much real wind is there now at the back of Bitcoin and other cryptos?
Actually, quite a lot. I mean, I think one of the things that's really going on, and US is a big part of it, but it's not just the US, the European Union with the MiCA legislation, Asia Pacific, Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong. We have a global convergence of favorable regulatory activity. And what it's really doing is it's unblocking this enormous amount of institutional capital. There's $200 trillion in institutional capital that hasn't been able to access these assets previously. And these inflows aren't going to happen overnight, but we are going to see a steady allocation of resources into them. And so there is a lot of kind of resources behind the dam. There's a lot of water that's behind the dam, and it's going to flow into these things over the next couple of years.
Indeed. So it looks as if we've got quite a lot of insto vindication going on. My question here is, though, are you surprised that Ethereum and Bitcoin tend to trade in lockstep, given the fact that they're very different assets and they've got very different use cases?
Yeah, this is actually one of the kind of recurring surprises for me is that they are fundamentally so very different. You know, Bitcoin is fundamentally an asset bet. It's a kind of a digital form of gold. Ethereum is a bet on a global kind of computing platform for transactions. My best hypothesis is that there's two main reasons why Ethereum and Bitcoin have largely been sort of going in lockstep. The first is just very simply a lot of investors just both look at them as crypto assets, even though their underlying technology is very different and their goal is very different. And then secondly, both of them are benefiting from a combination of regulatory benefits, both unlocking just general asset flows into these environments. And then particularly in Europe, this MiCA legislation, the markets in crypto assets, unlocks not just Bitcoin and Ether, but it unlocks any number of digital programmable assets. And that in particular is extremely favorable for Ethereum, which is a programmable ecosystem.